A few days ago, I uploaded a video on the issues for the Pacific campaign, and today I'm going to be doing a video on what the Pacific did well. So, obviously, like my last video, this video is going to be doing of what the Pacific did well, and what I hopefully think they will improve, and what they had improved over the creation of the Pacific campaign. But that said, this video is made for the friends at Discord, meaning that if you haven't liked, subscribe, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. But that said, let's get started with what the Pacific did well. The first thing that they did well is basically no Stalingrad. For one, the things are not locked behind paywall, so you just don't have to get the things via actual cash, so that's going to be a very good thing. Obviously, some people have already been saying that that should be the basic, which I do agree. Like, please, Enlisted, do not ever do the Stalingrad thing ever again. So that's no Stalingrad, pretty good issue. It's basic, but thank you, at least you didn't give us a Stalingrad. The next issue are the new factions, and the accurate uniforms and stuff like that are pretty good. The new factions, the voice lines for the Japanese are pretty good, and obviously the only few big issues that I have currently with the voice line is that the end screen button, or the you're defeated button, or the we've won the battle button is still in German, so, well, depending on what native language you use for the voices. But that said, yes, the voices are pretty good, the uniforms are pretty good. I would have to say that I do have some issues with the faces, but overall, very good. Very good introduction of the Japanese army, the IJA, and I really actually do like Japan as a faction. And the next thing that we have is the equipment, and this is a pretty good well sought out progression with the current progression in the progression for the factions and not for the overall progression, in the sense that yes, there is going to be unbalancing, but in terms of the faction progression, it actually does quite well. Now, a lot of new and interesting stuff, such as the American Owens machine gun, which is actually an Australian machine gun, that is given to the American side. The Japanese get a S-100, and basically the Japanese get the Type 100 SMG. Also, not to mention the Type 28 7.65, which is pretty good in the sense that it's interesting. And yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of new weapons for the Pacific, and once again, even if you're playing on the American side, even if you're playing as the Americans, you get a lot of new equipment, such as the Springfield without the scope, and not to mention the Owens gun, and the M50 Rising if you haven't bought the M50 Rising Premium Squad, and not to mention the fact, like, the Grease gun is the Grease gun, but a lot of good stuff that are new, which is very good. That is a very good thing that Enlisted should do. Yes, it is quite harder for the American stuff to get something new, but once again, a lot of good new stuff for the overalls. The graphics wise, it's pretty good, very good in terms of the graphics, and honestly, the graphics side, it's pretty good. Like, the shots, like I said in my news video, the shots after you fire the shot and it hits the ground actually feels like it's a bullet, and not like a piece of rock, so that's pretty good. It's unique, and quite unique in the sense that everything is quite new. It's just like, it feels like you're in a different world. It's not like it's playing Enlisted Berlin. It's not like it's over again. Yes, the buildings are destructible, which could be a big pain, but hey, it's extremely unique for the campaign. As a matter of fact, I feel like having to start Enlisted all over again from the beginning, from the first game I had. It felt like extremely new. It's not like Tunisia, which is pretty much like Normandy and in some cases Berlin, in the sense that you're still going to be gunning people down in the late game, but in the Pacific, it's extremely unique in the sense that it's just quite different. Like, the buildings, everything, like, it's extremely unique. Now with the charge buffs, it's going to be even better, especially the melee weapons are going to be quite interesting, so that's going to be interesting. The new melee mechanics are awesome in the sense that you can now charge at the enemies. Of course, there have been people, including me, that have been abusing the thing, because, for one, since you have a lot of stamina, you might as well just charge at your enemy, and in this case, you might as well charge at the point in which you're supposed to defend to get a heads up, or just to run faster, because, like, let's be honest, the charge button, we're still going to be using it in combat, but you might as well just use the charge button to move long distances when you have the stamina. So that's going to be interesting. But once again, the melee mechanics are awesome. Really like the mechanics. And yeah, it's thankfully, arguably, not only for the Japanese, but for the Americans, which does make it historically accurate in the sense that the American troops did charge with bayonets. Not saying that they didn't, but yeah, an interesting thing. But next up, we have the best campaign, especially for the Pacific campaign. As a matter of fact, I think this is one of the better campaigns. Obviously, I have stated this is a lot of issues, such as progression, which is, once again, not that great. the balancing, which is once again not that great, and obviously the leveling, which is once again not that great. But overall, it is one of the best campaigns for Enlisted. Extremely new stuff, and it just gives you a different feel. It's like you put in a new world, and it's not quite Enlisted. I feel like, once again, like the first battle for me in the Pacific, I felt like I was being transported to a different game. It didn't feel like I was playing Enlisted. Well, at least not in terms of the squads, but really different. Really enjoyed it, and that is all what the Pacific did well. And to recap, they did really well. I'm just gonna say it. There are gonna be issues, but overall they did pretty well, such as the maps are amazing. Of course, they might not be balanced, but they're amazing. They look cool. And yeah, that is all. This is pretty much all I could ask for the Pacific. But that's it, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Comment in the comment section down below of what you liked about the Pacific. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.